Hello there. I'm the one with the finally finished the sketchbook. So it's a long way to go. So have a seat, and you're probably going to go to popcorn, and you're gonna see this in I don't know, Sunday or Saturday or whatever, whenever you have time. So first thing is this is the first one. I didn't do the original. I didn't make the original drawing for this. It was just with pencil and just the line art. So I just gave the ink, contour, and the color. Absolutely, thank you for the person who gave me this. It's been a blast. You helped me out even if you didn't intend it to do it. So let's get started. So the first 4 or 5 drawings are not the official ones. So this is just watermelon legends. The C1 Ava is just like a succubus. You can go Google it or whatever. I don't know. You'll know it. And this is the Somberon, is like a big cat guy who seduces girls. So it's like an incubus. Here's the Llorona. She's like a Korean lady, is like a banshee. Also, you can, as I said, you can Google it. I'll try to put the names in here or here. I don't know. So there was a moment where when I started the sketchbook, I was like really bad. I felt like shit, and everything was wrong. So I said, well, I want to be happy. I will start drawing happy things, and I start with this. It's fun. It's fun. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not like the things I would like to draw at the moment. Here's a Reno, a cute one, I guess. So here we are with the hardcore stuff. When I started, this is the official drawing that came to the sketchbook as something I wanted to express for myself. And do you remember the Dark Knight Rises scene where Bruce Wayne is trying to get out of the prison from a hellhole or something? Well, I felt like that. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and episodes of depression. And when I drew this, I was like in the top of the shit, of all the shit that mental illness gave to me. So I was like that, trying to get out of the hellhole. Sometimes when I felt like, oh, I'm achieving something, I fell down deeper and deeper into that, and that was frustrating, just like the Dark Knight Rises scene. So here's me. It's a representation of how I felt with generalized anxiety disorder, and when I have an anxiety attack, I feel like everything is tumbling down, and I am in a very tiny room, without doors, without roof, without windows. There's no escape of that little room, and there's a lot of people screaming to me. So I feel frustrated, I feel bad, I feel like there's no escape to it, and I don't want to hear absolutely anything from outside. I just want everything to be quiet. So this is the representation. A man who doesn't want to hear anything, who's frustrated, who's kneeling on the floor, just desperately in need of help. And then I got like a light. This drawings are like ups and downs of my mental state and my emotional state, my physical state, a lot of things. So I went to see the Logan movie, who was out some months ago, and I saw the scene. You might guess it. And the spoiler alert: in the end, Wolverine dies, but realizes that he can be loved even if he is an animal and even he has killed those many people. And he's genuinely loved by someone who understands him. That little kid, with even with his powers, gets attached to him, and that's a very nice message for a movie. That it's so real for me. So when I was struggling with the top of the things, I said, well, I'm gonna start talking to people. I am usually shy. I am introvert most of the time, so I don't talk to people at all. But I said, well, I have nothing else to lose. I lose friends. I lose a partner. I even lose the sense of myself. So I came with this. It is like a drawing made when I met a French girl who was struggling with drug things, of course depression, and she came to me because I was taking pills for something. It was very crazy. I was like, man, I was mad. So she told me, look, whatever you need, tell me, because I would have liked to have the same help as I am offering you when I was struggling with it. And I was like very emotive about it. I'm not usually emotive, by the way. So she was an artist as well, a self-taught one, and she liked to imitate the style of a guy. Peter Draws was the name of his YouTube account. He's very interesting, of course. I highly recommend to see his videos. He's very poetic and very skilled with everything he touches. He even draws with a freaking branch. So I started this as this French girl told me the way to make a crazy doodle is just do everything that comes to your head. So I came with this. There's a lot of eyes everywhere, a cat on the top, and as I said, I was feeling like, oh well, a lot of persons are screaming to my head at the same time, persons that does not exist. And I know that it might sound like a schizophrenic or paranoid disease or some paranoid things, but it's not like that. It's just anxiety. I'm just worried about a lot of shit that are not actually happen. So this is the kind of representation of it. So there's kind of an up but still down mood in my sketchbook, and it's the madness. There was a point where I was so frustrated that I thought I have nothing left. So what's the point? So I started laughing. I was really fucking frustrated. So I started laughing. I said, why not doing this crazy stuff? Why not doing this nonsense? Why not doing this? I started doing a lot of stupid shit, of course, but that's the madness. Just everything was a joke for me. Life was a joke. Friendship was a joke. Myself was a joke. So there's a more sanity up, more an up in my life. When I drew this, I dedicated this to the French girl who offered me a hand, and everything in here was just let's throw shit up. Also, as you've seen, I like ice most of the time. I'm gonna put it in here, and as you see here, you have a couple eyes. Here's another one. Here's a little tiny one, an eye of a bird of something, a resemblance of an eye, another eye, a face, a funny face. So everything is crazy. That was like in my head in that moment. I was just like, well, do the shit, do whatever, and everything like that. There's another doodle, a lot of eyes again. There was more crazy things in here, and I didn't like this piece, but I know it might sound like I don't like this, but everything like in here is like myself. just natural things with a lot of eyes. I always try to look at everything. Oh, sorry for the focus. And there's some things that doesn't quite make any sense, and there are things that I think I say, well, I don't like this, but it's part of me, you know, self-acceptance and stuff like that. So after all the doodling, I said, well, I don't want to do this in this sketchbook for, I don't know, half of it, so I will try to change it. It's like my whole life. There's a point where I say, well, I think I got the idea for this, so I'm going to change it a little bit or do different things, because that's how my head works. Here, going here and there all the time, trying to do new stuff and whatever. So I started to make this portrait. As you've seen in previous sketches, the shading is very linear. Where the lines go, the shading goes. In the nose, the vertical nose that has the shading vertical. I try to make it a little bit more clear for you. As you say, the lines are vertical in the nose, vertical in the chin, horizontal in the forehead, circular in the eyes. So that was the shading for me. But in this one, I changed a little bit. I tried a new technique or something. Try to focus on it, please. Okay. So there's crosses, there are X's if you want to see that way, for the shading parts in every single part of the shading. So yeah. Also, the only things I colored was the eyes, because for me in a portrait, the most important thing of all is the eyes, because you can mess up with the nose, you can mess up with the mouth, but if you get the essence of the eyes, you might get the idea of the whole portrait of a person. Oh, an illegal one. This is a secret. I was not authorized to show that one. So, here's a funny one. As you've seen, there's a lot of things in this sketchbook, like, oh, well, I'm going to distract myself with this, and that was this one. A friend of mine told me, oh, well, why don't you draw me if I were a guy? She is my best friend, and she is absolutely a girl. She gave me that idea, so I came back with the same shading technique. I'll show you that. Okay, so if you see, if the skin is going to that direction, the shading is going there. Also the nose, but it's kind of I don't know. He's too that shading technique is too strong. So you get this like creepy expression in a person. So I don't recommend it if you want a smooth, soft kind of portrait or something. So here's another one. I was in a pretty bad moment when I started the sketchbook, and I was just like, oh, I will try to get out of my head. I will try to get something from someone else, because I felt like there was just absolutely shit on my head. So I have always had a weak spot for athletes, and in that moment I met Stephanie Cruz. She is not Cruz like Tom Cruise, is Cruz like cross in Spanish. Cruz. Stephanie Cruz. So she's an athlete. She has the record of triple jump in Guatemala, and that's not a drawing of her. This drawing is for a Mexican athlete, Lilian Hernandez, I guess. So I admire all the athletes, not just because of their physical strength, because I admire them for their emotional and mental strength. They have to endure comments like, you are not the number one, you have to train more, you made this mistake, there's a lot of things that can get any person frustrated, but they can get through it and turn it into strength for themselves, and that's badass, man. And the emotional one, the mental one, the mental part of them that I admire is that consistency in the training. They go out every single day at the same hour to do something that will get their bodies tired, and they do it every single day for a goal, and that consistency, that thing of going every day, even if you've been told that you are not enough for the competition or some shit like that, they go every day and they enjoy it, and that's pretty nice. So that was something I needed mentally in that moment. I was like, I'm highly frustrated, I don't know what to do, I am a piece of shit. So I made this as a resemblance of what I needed to learn. As you've seen, mental illness is like a very, very pretty bad place to be, and meds are not the exception. I had a lot of headaches. In this moment, I had a lot of headaches, and I take like 2 pills every food time, in the morning, at noon, and the night. I had 2 pills. I had like 6 pills a day, just for headaches. You don't want to imagine the rest of it, but this is a representation of it. That was me being doped for a headache. Well, there's nothing more to it. Here's another doodle. The French girl was in like, she uploaded in her Instagram. Also, she has not Instagram anymore. So in her history, she shared how she made a mandala, and she was like, oh, do this and do that and do this stuff, and if you want to do this way, and go ahead and make one. So I like mandalas, just like far from me, because I'm not so fan of it. There are too many circles, there are too many details, but I like squares. I don't know why. So I made a squared mandala. I don't know if that's part of the rule of making a mandala, but also you see I like eyes. I absolutely like eyes, and I try to make it as detailed as possible. Okay, here I started with a lot of doodles of characters, of things I admire. I like Batman. I like him a lot, not just because of his armor, not just because of his suit or the vigilante theme. I like him because even when the world take his parents, he was like, no, I'm going to do the right thing for these people. I'm going to clean out the city. That's very noble if you think about it. Because if he was me, if I were him, I was like, oh, to take out my parents, I will take revenge because I have money and I have weapons. And I know that's very irresponsible, but that's what I would think, and I thought about it once. I didn't kill anyone, so don't worry about it. I'm very sensitive for this, so I wouldn't do it. I would never do it. So in this part, I was like, there's what he says in the movie to Superman: "You were never a god. You were never even a man." So I like this phrase because I like this quote because for me, I after this mental illness thing, I felt invulnerable. I felt not human. I felt like a god, overhuman. I was never suffering anyway, and if I were suffering, I was like, this was good. This is gonna pass. This is not gonna take me down. But mental illness did. Mental illness took me down, took me to my knees, made me eat my own shit, and I felt human, and less of a human for the first time in my life. So that was Batman talking to my past self. I was never a god, and now I'm not even a man. Also, that was months ago, so now I feel kind of fine. So, mental illness got into my head like a train. Like a train killing all my body. And with my body, everything I forgot. As I said, I don't know if I've said it, but I lose a lot of shit with mental illness. I lose friends. I lose a partner. I lose a girlfriend. I almost lose my family, and I absolutely lose myself. So this is the resemblance of everything. I was dreaming every single day with all the persons I did something wrong for. All the bad things I did to people because I was scared, and the only thing I did scared was confronting and making people feel like shit. And my ex-girlfriend was one of them. I was scared of losing her, and it was like a stupid fear because that was not happening at all. But I felt like she was going to leave me because I thought that she was going to start to be. So I dreamed about these mistakes I did in the past, and I blamed myself for absolutely everything that happened around him. Well, I felt like shit, and I don't know, mentally I wanted to feel like shit. So this is because I dreamed about it every single night. Every single night I dreamed about people telling me, "It's your fault. You're not enough. You did this. This is all your fault. I blame you," and all this stuff. And I felt like this man, embraced by the memories of people I loved, and still sad as fuck. It was very, very loaded. So as you've seen, I started like just getting my head out of myself, and then I started to enter my head deeper and deeper. So the next one is another diversion, another distraction from myself. I've always been a fan of Gorilla since, I don't know, I was very young. And Doodle is my favorite character of of them all because she's always so smiley, she's always so optimistic, and she's always like this. She has always this attitude of, "Oh, I can do this. I will do this," and I admire that attitude of her. Also, I like rude girls. Those girls, like, they do because they want, not because society tells them what to do. I love that kind of girls. So Doodle, another diversion. Yay! I wanted to feel better with myself, and then another down thing. So this is something like a self-portrait, kind of inner portrait of mental state, emotional state, something like that. As you've seen, all the lines are very, very rude. They are very strong and dynamic. And the thing was the next. I felt like doing bad things made me feel good, but after doing them, then they made me feel pretty bad. But doing good things didn't make me feel good at all. It was like, oh, I did this good thing, but I don't care. So I needed something else. I was very, very angry. I was really down the hellhole I mentioned in the first drawing, the first official drawing of this. So it was like rejecting good and rejecting bad, because bad things made me feel bad and good things didn't make me feel good. That was a pretty depressive line, because that's depression. Depression is like not feeling pleasure at all, and I know that it depends on the person, but most of the time it's that just emptiness, and it's not sadness at all. It is just like a 5% of sadness and a lot of emptiness, a lot of nothing, a lot of nonsense, and a lot of whatever makes you feel worse. So that's with this drawing. And then there was finally a moment where I felt kind of calmed down, and I decided to do this. My own style combined with an Oriental style, Japanese, Chinese style or something. And I tried this because in that moment I felt like calm a little bit. So as you've seen, this is how I usually, well, it's not synced here, but that's how I usually use lines, like a very thick and a very thin line at the end, like in here. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna zoom in. My zoom in is just, as you've seen, is thicker here and thinner here, the line in the sword thing. So that's my style. It's kind of, look at this. This is trying to get your attention, and in the end, I was like, the landscape is just fading away. It's just, there's the first plane, the second one, the third one, and you barely see the house here and the mountain in here. I know it could be, it could look better with colors, but that's how it gets. Then I started reading. I didn't finish the book I was reading because university, college stuff, homework, whatever. So I started to read Edgar Allan Poe, and the first writing that appeared of him was the Golden Beetle. I don't know if it's said in English like that, but I guess that's the title. When I read this is the second time I've already read that, because that's an amazing story that has the code, the man who everyone thought he was mad, and the other ones like they were like, oh well, if you succeed in this, we're gonna believe you, but if you don't, we're going to get you help because, man, you're crazy. So I like that, and I made this, and the goal was to make a drawing of everything I wrote, but I broke the rule. I like steampunk, and at the same time in that moment I felt like, oh, I'm a robot, because I was like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I should do. I'm going to do it the fastest as possible and with the less effort possible. I'm not gonna give my 110%. I'm just gonna do the things I should do, nothing else, because I was exhausted. I didn't want to do absolutely anything. But of course, we have to be responsible and that and all that kind of shit. But I felt like a robot. I wake up, I do this, I do that, I have to do this in that time, there's nothing else to do, so I'm going to do absolutely nothing about it. Like, just like a robot, you just give a robot tasks and it do it like completing a list. That's all. And also I like a steampunk. Steampunk is pretty cool. Here I had like a challenge. Well, self-challenge of drawing, where I drew my 7 most important flaws, and I will 100% agree now that now my most destructive flaw is my bad temper. You know, I have a bad temper. It's like, as I said, when I am anxious, I get really fucking scared, but my reaction to fear is not hiding away or running away. My first reaction to fear is confronting, being mad, being pissed off, and making destructive shit just because why not? And as you see, and as you might know, that anger does not differentiate with what's the thing that triggers the angry, the bad temper. It just releases all the energy, all the destructive thoughts in one thing, no matter how it is, and it just destroys everything in its way. So that's my number one flaw. My bad temper. I get pissed off for absolutely nothing. I could get pissed off for absolutely nothing, and I destroy everything. And if I am angry because something went wrong with my work, I can release my angriness with a dog that doesn't have to do anything with it. Yeah, very smart. Yeah, of course. Why not? My second flaw is laziness. I just do whatever the fuck I do. I didn't do more than that. If I have to pay this, if I have to pay a bill, make homework, and possibly take someone in a drive, I probably won't make the drive because I'm not compromised to that. I will just do the homework. I just make the bill, pay the bill because that should be done. But if I have the chance to avoid a responsibility, I just don't do it. I just don't care. It's like, oh, you want me to take you? You just want me to do something I should not do? I won't do it. I don't care. So I'm kind of lazy for that. My number 3 flaw is feeling of no belonging. I most of the time I feel like I don't belong anywhere, and it has been like that since I was a kid. I feel unfitting. I feel like there's no place for me, and you know, I grew up with it, so usually I'm fine. But when you are near people who are making an effort to know who you are, and they take care of what you feel and all this stuff, sometimes I just alienate them because I don't know how to react to it. Most of the time, people are not interested in knowing me, so I don't give a shit. But when someone tries to reach out to me and try to get to know me, I just don't know how to react because I don't feel the same. I don't feel like I don't want to know people all the time. Anyway, I can make feel. Oh fuck! I don't know how to talk. I can make people feel like pretty shit because I don't feel the same. Number 4 flaw. I developed a mental illness. It has been 3 years ago since I got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and episodes of depression. I went to therapy 3 years ago, and I started new therapy in like 8 months ago. It has been shit because, as I said, anxiety just gets me like a lot of voices screaming at the same time in my head, telling me what I should do, what I should fear, why I'm not enough, why I'm blaming myself for something, whatever it gets. It's just like shit. I get my head just emptied for good things, and it just gets filled with nothing. Sorry for that. So I felt like a stone golem. You see a stone golem, they are usually giant, and they are invulnerable for arrows and swords, and invulnerable for a lot of shit. But the golem I felt I was a one that was tumbling down from the inside out. That was for me mental illness. Flaw number 5. I am highly pessimistic. And pessimistic, not like, oh, everything is going to be wrong. No, I'm usually pessimistic because I always imagine the worst case scenario and I just prepare for the worst. And if something better occurs, it's just like a bonus thing. Oh, it didn't happen the worst thing I thought it would happen, so it's fine. But that's a mediocre thing. that's a mediocre thought because you can just be strong all the time. And being pessimistic just gets you blind sometimes. Most of the times. You're just prepared for the worst and you don't get the good things flow through yourself. Don't be pessimistic. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do, but it's an advice, life advice from your not so advisable person, guy or gal or whatever you wanna call it. Phone number 6. I am obnoxious or mean-spirited. I'm trying to not be like that anymore because self-esteem of people are being highly affected by that and by me. And by obnoxious mean-spirited, I mean like, oh, you like reality shows? Reality shows are for empty-brained people because it's just nonsense, bullshit, and something. But why do I care? I mean, people like things, and why do you care about it? If you don't like something, you just don't watch it. But I'm mean-spirited and I want to feel people feel bad. And with anxiety, it's just fucking worse. I've been trying to be more like a constructive person now. There have been a lot of progress in that, and I have to work on some other things. But with this thing specifically, I have been like a supportive person, more like an obnoxious or mean-spirited one. I've been like, oh, you did this wrong, but there's a solution. Just let's try to find it out. Oh, you made a mistake. It doesn't matter. Oh, you like this thing that I don't like? Well, keep hearing it, and the next half hour I watch my favorite TV shows and whatever. So it has been a change since I drew this. Also, I'm not just mean-spirited like this fork. I am like a fork in the fucking shit of, oh, well, you're bothered with high noises, so I'll make noise with this fork. I'll try to make the move here. Oh, do you like that noise the fork does when he scratches the plate? Oh, really bad for you, but I don't. And my number 7 flaw. The lack of diplomacy. When I give my opinion or something, I'm like, oh well, that thing is just shit. That's it. That's pretty my opinion. And if I don't like something, I'm like, oh well, that's shit. I don't like it. Get off. That's all I have to do. That's all that comes to my head. It's hard for me. I've been trying to change it, but it hasn't been like a great advance in that. I tried to build more like, well, I don't like this because of this and this, and that's reasonable. So could you stop doing this because that just pisses me off, please? But usually I'm usually more like, oh, shut up, take out this shit because it's shit. So get off. I don't know if it's about music. It's your music is shit. So get off of it, and I don't want to hear it. Get off. I will hear my own shit. Get off, please. Just go. So there's a lot of work to do. Thanks for that, life. I made this to myself. I'm sorry. So one day I was dreaming. It was the first time I dreamed with someone I don't know. This is the portrait I came up with it. I dreamed like I liked a girl. I don't know. My dreams are mostly nonsense or things that make me feel guilty or worse. I don't know. My dreams are shit. But this is the one of the neutral dreams that doesn't make me feel bad and doesn't make me feel good. So this girl was a pretty girl, and that's it. I dreamed about her and didn't want to forget it because it was my first time dreaming with someone I don't know, and I think that I didn't already seen her. Anyway, so again, my weak spot for athletes. I don't remember where did I take it. Oh no, I remember. There's an account. Let me check it out. There's an account on Instagram. Let me check. It should be right here. I saw a drawing of him or her, I don't know, this morning. When? Oh, here it is. The account is Adam Downline. I don't know who it said. Adam Downline Warren Downline Art. Adam Warren Art. It's pretty good account, and I think he's a guy. I don't know, but he does a lot of body studies, and this was one of them. I was trying to shade like him, that it was just one single direction. The direction of the shading was single. As you've seen the lines here, I'm gonna show you again, but there are single lines here. There's no crosses or some shit. There are lines all over, just pointing one direction in every single part of the body. So I tried it, and I like athletes, so it's a win-win. Here is the portrait of the main character of the best movie of all times. Gladiator with oh, I remember the name of the actor, but you'll get it if you Google it. Gladiator. This I like this movie because part of my therapy were based on it, on a phrase of it. Elysian Fields. It's like my safe place. It's like a safe place for me. This is part of my therapy, as I said. So every time I'm angry, every time I get anxious, every time I have to breathe consciously, I think about Elysian Fields, or my own Elysian Fields. And that's the way I did this. And again, the only thing I colored was the eyes, because as I said, if you get the eyes, you get the whole portrait. I think it has a lot of this portrait has a lot of proportion mistakes, but it's fine. I like it. And again, I'm a big fan of gorillas. Gorillas is just absolutely a blast in my head when I hear them. So I took this. I don't know the whole image, but I took this. The head of 2D was taken from the album Humans, the last one. I think Humans is the thing. Humans with seed at the end. That's a portrait of 2D in that thing. So I imagined the rest. I completed it with the outfit he was wearing in the video, Saturn Bars. It was absolutely good video, by the way. Highly recommended. So I tried a new thing. I tried to color absolutely everything. And there was the hat. Everything was shaded with ink. Fine markers. Oh, let me focus on it. Okay, here it is. So as you see, everything is like a mix of all the shadings I've been making in the whole sketchbook. Here's the cross ones. Here's the unidirectional. I don't know if it's a word in English, but the lines are going just in one direction. Hey, one direction. I don't like the pen. Anyway, here's the cross again. The cross in the face. The single direction. I don't know how it's said. Whatever. And the cross in the hat. I also used pink here just because I didn't know how to make skin color with markers yet now I don't know how to do it. There's the second one. This is a representation of mental illness for me, like a fucking dragon blasting fire and chasing you all the time, trying to take you down, and a lot of stuff like that. And there is you, running into it, because you will not run away from mental illness. You can run away from a thief, you can run away from an assassin, you can run away from someone who hates you, or you can run away from someone you hate. But you can't, absolutely can't, run away from your own head. So you just face it. Face your mental illness, get help. Admit that you are not going through this alone. You need a help, man, or woman, or kid, whatever you are. if you are suffering from any mental illness, go seek for help, please. So that's it. That's it for this drawing. This is dedicated to a friend of mine. If you're watching this and you get to this part, man, I wished I had the right words for you in that moment. I'm gonna tell you a bit about him. He lost his father. I don't know how the fuck he is still smiling at this point after that. Ankarani Thanagor is, I don't know the language it is on, but I think it's Elvish or something in the Warcraft series. This is a resemblance of the king and the death of Arthas, the Lich King, and his father. But you know, cross the things because why not? Ankarani Thanagor means, let me check it out, because it's part of the lyrics of a song called Invincible, something like that. Always from the Warcraft series. It's very fine thing. It's a great piece of music. Ankarani Thanagor. So the song is called O Thanagor. Othanagor. So Ankarani, okay, here it is. Ankarani Thanagor means long live the king. And man, I absolutely know that your father will have a long life whenever he is in right now. And he had a short life in this world, but this world means nothing anywhere. So, dedicated to your father and to you, Ankarani Thanagor, man. Long live you kings. Passing on the next one. I like female shapes. I like female bodies, not because I'm a man, not because I'm some kind of pervert. It is just the aesthetics of the whole body of a woman. You can see a fat man, a fit man, a thin man, and they're just all fine. I know all that self-acceptance body thing. But if just in terms of aesthetics, all the shapes in a man are just like brute and hard and they are just so strong that there's no usually space for grace and that kind of soft beauty. But if terms of a woman, you will see in the final ones of this video, you will see that I have a lot of woman shapes in this sketchbook, because woman shapes, you can see a fat woman, you can see a skinny woman, you can see a fit woman, and you will see a lot of curved lines that are soft, even if they are muscly. They have this inner beauty in the body. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that's how I look at that's how I look at the aesthetics of a woman's shape. So that's why I drew this. I drew this because I love female shapes in general. Here is this was for the, I don't know the number of Star Wars anniversary. I am so sorry, I'm not a hardcore fan of Star Wars, I just like it. And my favorite movie is the chapter 2, I guess, with when you see the origins of Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader. So I like Anakin Skywalker. That's my favorite character ever. I think just because I can relate to him. He is scared of losing things, so he goes to the dark side, and he gets himself involved with the Dark Force. I think it's the Dark Force. the dark side of the Force I saw. I'm so sorry. So that's how I don't know. It's like a forced relation between me and him, because when I'm anxious, I'm just like, oh, let's just get dark and treat bad people, and even my master can get fucked up by my stupid feelings of self-control. Here's another doodle, random doodle, nachos, Mexican, watermelon thing, kind of. But I love eyes. I don't usually like. My favorite color in eyes is honey, or just like a yellow brown thing. I don't usually like blue eyes because they're, I don't know. It's just normal for me. Even in my country, there are not a lot of people with blue eyes, but whatever. I like this blue eye because it was a very high contrast between the blue, the yellow, and the orange. It's very good combination of colors, by the way. Here's the Lich King again, but here's like the dark side of the thing of the Lich King. I love the Lich King, by the way. He's one of my favorite characters in World of Warcraft. Even if he has been already defeated, but I like him because usually people tend to confuse me with an angry person, very serious person, of someone who is just so fucking cocky he can smile. But no, I'm usually not feeling. I don't usually feel anything at all. I'm just my face like poker face or serious or something. I'm not the kind of person who goes everywhere smiling at everyone. Not because I'm a dick. It's just because I think a smile comes from from your inside. So if I don't think I don't want to smile, I don't smile, and it's fine, I guess. So here's a drawing, an interesting one. The first drawing that introduced me to the artist world was when I was 7 years old. When I was 7 years old, I drew a Sandstrew. Haha, so funny pun. My first drawing was a Sandstrew. It was from this book. Let me tell you. I think I have this one. Oh, here it is. It was the first Pokemon book I've ever had, and I think in one of the last. One of the last. There was a book for a Pokemon training card game. I still play it a little bit. Not, as I said, I'm not a hardcore fan of anything, but I think it's pretty interesting. The first drawing. Oh, come on, where is it? I swear to God it was here. Maybe you already saw it, and I'm just like, and I'm here just like a freaking idiot, looking for something I already saw or should have saw. Well, okay. Oh, here it is. That's the first character I've ever drawn, and it was in that position, a specific position, because I was bad at drawing when I was a kid. But I came better, and I came up with this. It was a pleasure. It was one of the first pleasures of in this time of mental illness for me, where I drew this. I was like, oh my god, I really love Sandstrew. It's not my favorite Pokemon ever, but it was the first Pokemon I tried to draw in my life. This drawing was for the mermaid something, whatever. It was like this thing of mermaids, and I remembered. I'm so sorry. And I remembered one of my favorite movies was, well, series of movies, was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, where there's mermaids appear. So I tried as much as I could to make it as accurate as possible. So I came with this for the mermaid challenge or something. Here was another down in my mood or my mental state or whatever you want to call it in my life when I started just this thing. In that moment, I was like the man of the beginning of this sketchbook review. I felt like there was a lot of menace everywhere. I felt like a kid, and when I drew this, I felt like a kid with no escape. There was a menace everywhere I go. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was vulnerable. I felt like there was no hope for me, and I was just running into the flames of something bad. I felt frustrated. I felt desperate. And that's a sensation I don't wish to anyone, even if you were my worst enemy or some shit. I really wish you'd never feel this way in your life. Okay, here's another resemblance. I felt rage. No, it was not rage. I was just angry. But as I said, I have angry management problems. So I'm usually, when I explode in anger, I just don't control what I do. I wish I could. I really wish I could, but I'm just angry. I'm just fucked angry. Genuinely angry or whatever. And I'm just like a wolf. It has no pupils because anger does not see clearly. When you're angry, you're not seeing things clearly. You're just a selfish person. And sometimes being angry and being selfish at the same time is fine. When you have to defend something you want, something or someone you love, you get angry, and you don't differentiate if that's that person, the other person you're trying to hurt, to serve it. You just want your thing, and it's absolutely reasonable. But sometimes you just have to calm down, and that's something I can not do at all. This is from someone I met. I can't say the name of this guy, but let me tell you something. That body was really well built. This guy is one of the persons who take care of his body in the good way. He just eats the needed thing, the necessary amount of food. He exercises himself. He works. He does a lot of things. I don't know how the fuck he does all the things, but he told me, well, you can draw me, but you can say I was the guy in that drawing, because I don't in the culture in my cultural context, showing off your body is just a sign of that you're a presumptuous piece of shit. And if someone draws you, you're gay. And gay in my country is bad. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like the persons who thinks like that they're just a bunch of Neanderthals. Like, yeah, gay is bad because we are men and men are not gay. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't have gay friends, not because I hate them. It's just because I am not friendly at all, so that's why I don't have gay friends or girlfriends or boyfriends. I have just a few people who loves me, and I love them because I'm not a person who handles well being popular. I don't like it. I hate being popular. It's because I have to not worry, it's just being for those people, because being for a lot of people is just like difficult to me. I hardly call my best friend. I hardly text my friends or my family. It's just hard for me, but it doesn't mean for me that I don't care about them. It's something I don't do. I am so sorry for that. But I rambled a lot about this, but this was the thing. He didn't want to to be shown as, oh, this is the body of this man, because cultural shit, man. This represents a lot for me, not because I achieved a new drawing technique or some shit. It is because Masha models is the this drawing means a lot to me, because I was looking for models, men or women. That was not important to me. That was not relevant. So I came with Masha Models. Masha Models is the name of the account. She's a very great model. She's very nice to people as well. So I came to her. I was trying to reach out to people, and nobody, absolutely literally no one answered my requests except for her. She was very nice, and she told me, well, if you get inspired by any of my pictures, you can draw anyone, any of it. I'm sorry. So I decided to go with this one because I don't know, I liked it, and I usually felt related to everything I draw. And I feel related to it because, you know, when you get shit in your life, you just feel tied up, and with the limitation of something. So the original picture was taken from Richard Tallet. That's the thing. I'm gonna put the name somewhere in here or whatever. So the picture is this one. I'll try to show it. Whatever. Okay. So I was very flattered or something like that for someone finally answering me and telling me, do it. Just do it, man. Just like Shia LaBeouf telling you, just do it, man. Do it. Let me tell you. Oh, here it is. Just do it. Okay. Sorry for the joke. Okay. So I was like, oh, thank you. I will do my best. I'll try to show you the original picture, maybe, if I find it quickly enough. Oh, here it is. And I'll show you. Here it is. The name of account, Masha Models. She's, as I said, she's really nice person, and a great model. Highly recommended to see her work. Check it out. She's gorgeous. Then I felt nostalgic. I felt like I wanted to return to the roots. When I grew up, I said things like, I want to be a hero of justice. I want to be hero. I want to be, well, you know, when you meet Superman and all these heroes, and you see a lot of animated series, you want to be like the hero. Most of the time. Not me, but Zoids was one of those first anime things I saw. Zoids, Pokemon, Digimon, barely. But those kind of series, you get it. And Zoids was important to me because the main protagonist was like, I'm not gonna give up. I get frustrated. My friends got killed. And this man is trying to take out the world, and want to stop him because I want freedom for everyone. And that's something I want right now. I want freedom for me and freedom from everybody around me. Sick is an organoid. It's like the power up for giant robots, and I liked him because he was very genuine. In the series, this dinosaur has its own personality, and he was very genuine, friendly, and man, I like the power up thing or whatever. It's this one. It's upside down because I made a mistake. Because I'm human. So I was excited for watching Wonder Woman, and also not so excited because I was like, DC movies haven't been so good. Not compared to any other movie, but DC hasn't tend to do good things in this past 2 years. After Dark Knight series, everything was like, nah, it's fine. Or not good at all, like Batman vs Superman. That argument was kind of bad. But man, I was excited by this, and I went out to cinema when I saw Wonder Woman, saying like, I want to be a woman. I want to be a superwoman. I want to be Wonder Woman because she is cool. And let me tell you that in that Pinch thing was the thing when she was against the Germans, and the motive of the picture that appears in Batman vs Superman. When I saw that thing in a building when she gets a man hit with her knee, that was epic. The knee of justice. So I liked the movie, and it was absolutely a blast when I saw that. Here's the thing. There was funny. I started to feel good with myself in this things when I drew this, and there was the start of until here. I was just fighting to not feel bad. It was like, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I don't feel good, but I want to feel good. And then drawing this, I was like, I feel joy. I feel finally a little bit of good. And I you might hear the song because well then the song is hilarious. It was made by Badly Breeding. His or their work is very funny. It's really funny, and especially this one because man, it's just full of nonsense. When I was a kid, I got hit by a boulder. That's not the precise poetic thing you hear in a song. So seagulls, and badly breeding, very good, very funny thing. Also with Batman, I liked Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was after the Batman Warner Brother animated series. That was my second favorite show in the whole television. Man, Batman Beyond is just cool. It's just cool. So much technology, so much agility, power, and you see a Bruce Wayne decaying when he's too old to fit the role of Batman, and he finds this guy, I don't remember the name, that has his compromise with people, protecting people. He's like a teenager. He's a teenager, I guess. Outrageously violent, and he finds the way to get through the rage and do something productive with it. And this is an absolutely good show, and I like that the opening theme song is cool. Then I had a dream. It was a dream, I guess. Yeah. When there was a lady, and the whole street was water, and then was a shark, and then was a crocodile. I'm gonna zoom in because maybe you don't see it clearly. Here's the crocodile. Here's the shark. Originally here in this space was a car, but I didn't feel so comfortable with the car here. There was just a lot of things, and also this was a test of architectural drawing. I don't usually draw architecture because it's tedious for me personally. I don't like it because I feel like I'm never ending a drawing. I'm never finishing it, and it's just boring. But I said, well, basic perspective, square buildings that are the same size, well, it's gonna be fine. And it was kind of difficult. Just getting out of my comfort zone. And then I came with this because I felt brave for some shit. This is from Zelda Majora Mask. What was the name? Clock Tower? Yeah, Clock Tower. And here's a resemblance of Link with the mask of Deku, with the Deku mask. Here's the... it's not Navy, the name of the fairy in this game. I don't remember it, but the fairy, you know it. And here's a shadowy figure of the mask salesman. He was very creepy. I don't know. It's a very interesting character in the series, and in the end, you don't get to know who he really is. He's just a mask salesman that owns a overpowered mask of chaos. And well, spoiler alert of a game you should have played years ago. Oh, that's it. I liked it because there's so full of architectural things, perspective things, and lighting perspective. It was very complete. I made a few mistakes like this one, and there's another one here. I guess this one, I don't know, but this one was the main mistake of perspective I made, because that palette is not the palette. I don't know the word. That part of the engine is not so well done. Doesn't get the thing or something. But the rest of it, I just got fascinated by doing architectural drawing because of that. It's very interesting. The environment drawing is just amazing when you get to do it really fine. Here's this. All the last drawings, I uploaded them because why not? Why not? Maybe you know people that likes your style, and maybe they want a drawing and they will pay you. You know, business, and money, of course. But there was a person who was liking most of my posts. She has an Instagram account, and let me get, okay, here it is. Is pastel.paradox.art. She usually likes furry characters, but also she has a great talent making portraits. She's also kind of obsessed with gaming characters. Her art is like, I don't know, potentially very well. I don't know. But then and in this drawing I said, wow, this person has been appreciating my work lately very often. So I said, wow, thank you for that. Thank you for appreciating my art. Here goes this thing. So I made a little research in her account, of her Instagram account, and I found this Five Nights at Freddy's character. I guess Foxy is her favorite, so I drew her with Foxy. I came up with this Foxy with mechanical things coming out the chest. And let me get a quickly zoom a bit. Mechanical things going out of her chest or his chest. I don't know. Black eyes, scary things with tiny pupils. The hook and the hand. Mechanical things exposed and damaged parts of the mechanical thing, and then here she is. She's Pastel Paradox. I don't know her name. Let me guess. I guess maybe. No, it's not her name in her Instagram account. Is not her name. So Pastel Paradox. It's very good work of her. She makes interesting characters, and I hope you like her work as well. So that was like a thank you for appreciating things of mine, and he has been doing it. Here goes another Masha model. Here's another Masha modeling. I'm gonna show you. I think this is one of the latest. Yep, it is. Let me just find it out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So I took it freely. I was like, oh, by the way, in the last Masha model drawing, the guy who took the picture told me, hey man, you uploaded this drawing of a picture I took, so please just put my name on it. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I just completely forgot about it. And honestly, I just forgot about it. The credit thing, I was just like an amateur drawing in my head, and I didn't even to make a credit for someone, and I was just, oh my god, so paralyzed by the fear of, oh my god, I'm so sorry, just don't delete my thing. But he was very nice. He was very nice. And this, I'm gonna show you the original. No, I was earlier. Oh, here it is. Man, Mash Model says, here it is, the original. As you see, the original is a little bit bigger portrait, but for me, the thing to the most strong things in the picture was her face. Her face was looking at absolutely nothing. There was this detail of something going down in her eyes, like the makeup going down, like making the sensation that she was not caring about herself. In the original, here's water, but I just confused it because black and thing, whatever. But in the space of here, there's water. It's kind of dark water, and it's like, man, why are you there? Why are you there? And it's a very strong picture. The photographer of this one is Shooters. The account of the Instagram account of the photographer is Shooters Layer. Yep. He's from Houston, Texas as well, so I guess you'll find it out. So very, very good art, and I'm glad she let me draw her again. Also, she made it public and said thanks to me, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. I'm gonna melt down here because, oh my god, you led me and you appreciate it at the same time. It's just flattering as fuck. Let's go. This drawing was made because for me depression is like a Dementor, and I like Harry Potter, very original themes. So for me, depression is just like a monster that sucks out yourself from yourself, your true self from yourself, and he's getting out that sadness from you, and he pushes you to the edge of not wanting to feel good again, and that's like a Dementor makes you feel like, theoretically in the movies, in the books as well, a monster who wants you to die, to not feel good again, and sucks you out your happiness out of you. And it's kind of bad. Here's another one. Here is the resemblance of my subconscious, well-trained subconscious, making me feel bad as often as it could. So, I was looking the work of Sean Cos, very, very great artist. He is the author of Cyanide and Happiness. It's a very, very funny comic. So I tried his style of drawing. I wanted to understand how he draws, or how he makes the shade, how he makes his drawing so expressive. So Sean Cos has his Instagram account and has a lot of platforms where he uploads and things, his art. And here's the resemblance of my subconscious. My subconscious originally was a man tied up I wasn't hearing my subconscious at all when I was younger, but now it's just overpowered. It's powerful enough to make me feel bad, and that's the main reason of my anxiety disorder and depression, because my subconscious is just too strong. He's very, very fucked up. I'm so sorry for the music. Let me stop this. Okay, continue into it. Well, this is my subconscious. Very depressive, very hairs all over the place, not caring about himself, and just feeling like stuck in a group thing. So, well, depressive post. Here is another thank intention try or doing thing, whatever kind of thing. So there is a person, I'm so sorry, there's a person on Instagram. Her account is Mary Strike, whatever. I'm gonna put the name over the head of this thing. And she's a very nice person. She has the same anxiety problems and depression thing, and she shares words of strength to other people. She's like, oh well, this day this happened and I felt like this, and I hope you feel better. If you're dealing with anxiety, you feel better. That kind words. And also one day I told her, well, look, I feel related with what you're saying, and it's like my last drawing, and it was like just the thing I mentioned. I didn't want a follower. I never want a follower, and see if someone follows me, it's like, oh well, thank you, just that. And then she looked at the post, I guess, and she started to follow me, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to follow me. That was not my intention. I was just sharing my own thoughts. But she started to like every single one of my posts every day, and she has been constant with it. And I said, well, I will make a drawing of her in return of that appreciation of my work. And I started this, and I was like, when I get to the point, the new thing is that I'm so sorry. The thing here was I outlined the whole thing. It was not outlined. That was not my intention. That was new, and the glazes as well. The original was without the outline and without the glazes. But when I did it wrong. I did it terribly wrong. One eye was too high, or the other one was too low, and it was noticeable. And I said, oh my god, I fucked up. It's the first drawing in this sketchbook that I genuinely feel that I fucked up. I was like, oh my god, that cannot be a thing. Oh no, it just looks awful. And I was just like, I'm not gonna finish it. Fuck it. I just got nope, get off. I'm not gonna finish it. It can be forgotten. And it was left without the online and without the glazes. I was like, no, I'm not finishing it. So I make a cartoonish version of her. Absolutely, thank you again, Maristrike, for all the kind words you give to people, and the support you do in your own way. Just sharing your experiences and telling us there are bad days. There could be bad days, but get over it and get up and keep living, because the good things you've experienced it are because you are alive and not because you're dead. So thanks for that. That's very, very kind words from a stranger who lives in London that I will probably never know. So thank you, Marshmallows. I'm sorry, Marshmallows and Mary Struggle. I'm so sorry. So then, after finishing this one, I went back and I said, well, maybe I can I don't know, do something with this one. And I outlined the hair, like trying to give it like cartoonish thing. And I put the glazes on, and I said, whoa, it's corrected. But, you know, mistakes were made. And one of my favorite characters in video games, a sad pouring. So, why well, you might not ask, but I left this drawing here, and I left it the best I could. Not because I thought that it could look fine. It was more like, well, in your life is like my art. My life is like art. You sometimes make mistakes, and sometimes you cannot repair it at all. You just can make fun of it. Maybe not every time, but sometimes you can make fun of it. You make fun of your own mistakes. You fucked up, and you can keep blaming yourself for it and making you feel worse. You should, and there should be like that. You should be kind with yourself. You're human. You make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and some of those mistakes cannot be rewinded. You just go on. You just go along with it, and you just learn with it. And that's why this bad sketching, well, like that. It's a reminder. You can fail, man. And you can just either ignore it and throw it up and pretend that it didn't happen at all, or you just can left it there. You just can leave the mistake you make with you and learn from it. You say, well, never in my fucking life I'm gonna put a fucking eye lower than it should be. Just as you say, well, I trusted this person, and this person left, and this person made me feel bad. I'm not going to be with this person anymore. Ever. So that's just how art and life can be related, each with another one. Here's another one. The fear. When I was like 5 years old, I saw the first movie. Well, it was not a movie. It was like this miniseries thing that were released in 1990. The series of It, the Stephen King's It, and then I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a new movie of it. Oh my god. No shit. But then I got hyped. Because that's how trailers works nowadays. You get hyped. And I got hyped by this. Also scared at the same time. I was like, oh my god, I hope it's not gonna be. And I still hope it. I still hope that's not gonna, I don't know, burst down my fears again. Because when that fear just vanished when I was 15 years old. When I was 14 years old, I still saw that fucking clown out of the darkness saying hi and trying to drag me out in the fucking cloaks. I don't know, the gutters. Fucking shit, man. So this clown is just a legend in my head. And I decided, well, I'm hyped. I want to look at this movie and try to, I don't know, get over it or some shit. And I was like, well, let's make a drawing of it because that sounds like a good idea. And by the way, usually when I make portraits, I make usually a first liner with a hard pencil. H2 is the number I usually use. But this time I said, well, it's a fear. If it gets ugly, it cannot be uglier than the feeling of watching a fucking clown in my closet. So I was like, no, I'm gonna do it with ink at the first try. And at the first try, it looked absolutely amazing. There's no pencil drawing here in this particular drawing. It's not pencil in here. It's just pure ink and the pure inspiration of fearing things. Then I was planning to draw Superman, but Chester Bennington died. And as you know, and well, as some of you might know, drugs usually means depression. And Chester Bennington was not an exception for that. And since I was 14 years old, I started to hear Linkin Park, and the voice of Chester Bennington was like the rage I would like to manage so well as him. His demons were through his throat, and the songs were like the way he had to face all these things. And to me, his voice was like this inspiration to release your demons, to make something useful with it. And then the news was like Chester Bennington committed suicide, and I was like, oh fuck, man. Oh god, and I felt really, really bad because, you know, I have met in this past 8 months of intensive therapy, I've been like, oh man, this mental illness shit is hard to deal with. And I have met people who have been through it and have won, or have people people who are through it, still through it, but they are fighting. And then watching someone you admire, watching or knowing that someone you admire gets defeated by a mental illness, it's just fucked, man. And even an icon, a youth icon for me, he was like, oh my god, man. Oh god. And then I had to make a drawing, and my Facebook account was like a tribute to Chester Bennington for like a week. It was hard for me. It was like, and not just me. A couple of friends were like heartbroken for his death. He was like, they were like, no shit, man. Did you know that Chester Bennington committed suicide and he's dead now? Oh shit, we were crushed by that. But well, resemblance, and it keeps with this. When I drew this, I felt strong, and this was like 3 weeks ago. I started to feel genuinely strong. I felt like I could be struck by any mental illness, and I will still be strong. And I had ups and downs and stuff, but I've been feeling better. I mean, I'm not struggling with feeling between bad and nothing for a long time, and now I'm battling between not feeling good. No, I'm sorry. Now I'm fighting for not feeling bad, but feeling good. And I feel good in the past couple months. I'm like, man, I feel good. I feel energy again. I feel I can do shit again. And there's a lot of things that I should work, but I felt strong. And I said, man, I feel like I could be struck with a thunder and it couldn't, and the thunder couldn't even tickle me. I am fucking strong, man. Here's another one. I cannot say her name, but I made this because of self-acceptance. As I said in one of the past nude art I made, I love bodies. Not because they are bodies, just because I look how they look. Especially when you're with a woman. And as you see, this person is not fit, is not skinny. She's kind of chubby, and you see it, and you see her, and she's still beautiful. She's stunningly beautiful. Sadly, as I said in my earlier nude art, she was like, "Don't say it was me," because I work with men, and you know, in this country, men don't think it as art; they just think it as porn. And I don't want people looking at your work and masturbating themselves. And she's right. I would like to not. I would like my country to wouldn't be like that. I would like my country to be like very artistic and very understanding. But well, you can always get what you want. But she's absolutely beautiful. As you see her, she's very comfortable with herself, and that's something I admire from her. She's like, yeah, I'm chubby. I have, as you call it, pounds more than I should have, but I don't care. I like myself, and that's admirable. Then I had a bad day. And why this has to do with a bad day? Because I've been dealing with my mental illness from 8 months or so, and along with it, I've been fighting with my anger management problems, and there has been progress. Don't get me wrong. I've been fighting with it. I'm having results, and I have been able to manage to deal with my anger better than before. I usually dismiss some things just to not feel so angry. So there was this day when I started to build up my rage, and I got like, oh my god, no, and finally I got overwhelmed by rage, by my anger, and I started to do stupid shit like exceeding the speed limit, like being very imprudent and trying to go faster and faster, and it was like very, very dangerous. Don't do it, really don't do it. So when my anger faded away, when finally anger faded away, I was like, 8 months of work. I threw up 8 months of work in just 15 minutes. All my anger management thing was vanished. I just got angry, and I started to be that destructive and impulsive monster. And I felt bad. And I started to cry because all that work just in nothing. Also, I feel better. I started to stop blaming myself again. I was like, no. I mean, that was a mistake. Not doing it again. Fighting for not doing it again. So, there was it. There was pure rage. Released in minutes for stupid shit. And my way of getting out of my rage was building more rage. Of course. So, sorry. This drawing was like red and black because that's very violent, very destructive. And as you see, the eyes are white without pupils, as I mentioned in the wolf, because my rage is not like I'm angry because of it and I'm going to solve it. My rage is more like I'm angry for it. So if you get in the way, you're going nuts as well. I'm gonna crush you if you get in the way. And this rage was like being in a boiling lava. That's why the details, the yellow details in the mouth. The hotter is something, it becomes more white, and that's why the eyes are like vapor out of it, and the inside of it is just burning. I felt bad. If you have anger management problems, just get some help, man, because that's very destructive, and you don't get any good solution out of it. And then the last one. Thank you if you get into it. So I mentioned I met a French girl who introduced me to Peter Draws, a fantastic artist, and he in his Instagram account, he was like, "Oh, look, I'm going to make this kind of shadow thing. So if you have a piece of art that you would like me to see, just put the hashtag. I don't remember the hashtag, but I made this drawing. And let me tell you that's the most popular drawing I have in my Instagram account, and it was because of him. As I said, I highly recommend Peter Draws if you're drawing, because he's very inspired, he's very poetic, and he's always teaching people that you don't need a very, very expensive pen specialized with some shit to do great art. He literally made a drawing out of a stick with ink, or the moment where he made a fucking drawing in his wall with a fucking banana. Man, he teaches people, and he makes fucking mandalas without any precise tools. He makes precise mandalas with. He's just fucking draw. He's just fucking hand. He just only that, and he's very, very. He has very cool ideas, and he's funny, and he's poetic. He's weird, but he's great artist. He's a great artist. Go check it out. And that, my friends, is the end of my sketchbook review. As I said in the beginning, absolutely thank you. If you were the person who gave me this sketchbook, thank you for giving me it. Because even if you're not with me anymore, even if you're not anymore around here, let me tell you that this sketchbook knew me more than myself. Gave me the experience of drawing what I felt, and drawing what I want, and doing whatever the fuck I want. And even if you're not around here anymore, you made me experience so much good things. You made me meet new people, incredible people. You get me inspired, even if you weren't here, or even if your absence made me feel alone. Thank you, because I met incredible people. I met incredible artists, and the most important thing of all is that now I'm feeling better. And with you, thanks for all the people who left a like in my Instagram account. Thank you if you just watched it and said, "Oh my god, I liked it," and you didn't left a comment, even if you didn't left a like. And if you liked it, thank you for that, because that's why I made it. I made it first because I was a fucking selfish bastard, but then I made it because I liked it, and then I made it because there was people who could have been related to it. I met a model, I met athletes, I connected with myself. I understood more of myself than I understood before, and I knew way, and I knew myself more than before. I knew what I needed, and I met myself in a deeper way than before. Even if I'm still dealing with anxiety and depression, I started to feel good. And part of it wouldn't be able if any of you wouldn't pay any attention for it in my drawings. And I'm not the most popular drawing artist in the medium, but the 71, I guess, followers I have on Instagram, the few people who have commented some things in my Facebook, and the few fans I have in my fan page, Facebook fan page, all those people have been supporting my work, has been telling me, "Oh, you made it good. It looks good. This looks very interesting to me. You made me with the eat drawing." A person told me, "Look, I wasn't interested at all in this movie, but when I saw your drawing, I was like, well, this might be a good movie." So I became like a free ad for that movie anyway. As I said, I learned from my mistakes. I said, never in my life I'm gonna put a fucking eye upper than it should be. I met people who appreciate my work. I escaped from my comfort zone and I made this architectural thing, even if I got kind of scared of it. And all those experiences were just by a sketchbook. How drawing could be so interesting when you get to know it. If you focus in the right thing, you can get good ideas out of bad things. So my closing remark is, do whatever you want, because life's too short, and there will be always people who will tell you that you can't. There was always people who will tell you you are not enough. There's always people who will tell you your work is shit. But if you keep working, and if you keep moving forward, you will meet people who will support you, and even people who will appreciate what you do, even if you don't like it, even if yourself don't believe in yourself. Just keep moving forward, and if you're dealing with some mental illness, please seek help, and always do what you like. Always do what you like. So if you get to this point, absolutely thank you for watching. And if you are fascinated by drawing, please keep drawing. And if you like this, let me know in the comments below, and let's have a nice chat and meet each other, and maybe we could share experiences with drawing and stuff and whatever. Absolutely thank you, and peace. What?